Hi everyone, welcome back to the BookVandalShop. It's been a while. This has been a long time coming. Not because this project takes so long to make, just I've been busy and yeah, just haven't got things done. So anyway, this is a project that we're going to be working on in the next few videos. It's a file folder project. You guys know how much I love file folders. And this is using my newer digital kit that's in my shop, Seaside Memories. And you can use whatever papers and digitals you want, but I wanted to make a fun summer beach memory keeping journal. So let's just do a flip through of it before we get started in the construction. So again, this is using file folders and the digitals from my shop. And we have a big double-sided tag. Okay, and then we will flip it open. And inside we have a little journaling card and a flap. And so I've created throughout this this book, I've created places to put photos or photo mats. And my reasoning for that is that I wanted this to be a memory keeping place. So photos along with places to journal. If I was to take, like a beach trip or any summer trip or whatever, but I could put photos in like that. I've left the labels to where you can tuck a photo behind them. So, and of course, if you didn't want to put a photo in there, you could journal there or do whatever. So, and then there is two journaling signatures sewn in. And these are book pages from, I don't know, a beach book that I had downloaded from, the public domain, but National Archives or whatever. So that's what those are. Those aren't in the kit, and neither are these other book pages. But and then we have a little flip out. Okay, and then on this side it opens up and we have 3 tags that go from small to bigger. And then this I've left empty, but you could put a journal signature in there, a little small journal, or you could tuck keepsakes and mementos in there. This I've just tucked one of the envelopes in this side. This flap flips over and you have another photo mat. This is just a little journal card that we're going to make together. Flips up with plenty of place to write on it. You could even put a photo here on the back. And then here in the center, we won't be gluing this in case you want to tuck things back here. We've just put some of the journaling cards in the pockets here, just kind of a space filler for now. But my thinking is that, if you were to do like a beach trip or a vacation, you could put things in like the local map or menus from the restaurants you were at, or souvenir tags and things like that. You could just put those things in there. But in the meantime, I've just put some little bits of ephemera from the kit in there. And then they have the quotes on each side, and then these lift up to reveal more places to journal or put photos or whatever. The next one is another flip. Another place to put a photo. Some journaling cards here. And then this is not glued, so you could again put a journal signature or tuck mementos in there. Then we have two little flips where again you could put two small pictures or journal. Another journaling signature. And then a flap with another photo mat. And I have a little journaling card tucked in here. So plenty of places where you could, you know, leave these things out and put your own photos and memento pieces and stuff that you gathered from your trip. And then a tag book back here. So this is using that big tag, but instead of cutting it apart, I've turned it into a small little journal book. And so that just goes right on in here. Okay, and so then we have a nice big spine, and everything is gusseted to give it room for putting things in. So let's get started. I'm going to gather my materials and a material list, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for the base of our book that all the papers are glued to, we are going to need some file folders. File folders that I am using are the traditional letter-sized file folders that we use here in the US that fit a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, a standard letter-sized sheet of paper. So those are the file folders I'm using. You may have to make some adjustments if you're using different sized file folders. So the first thing I did though, oh, let me tell you, I am using 8 of them. Yes, I said 8 file folders. This is a big project. I am using 4 center tab folders. So 4 of them that have the tab in the center. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I am using 4 that have the tab either on the left or the right. It really doesn't matter what you have, because if it's not on the correct side and you need it to be over here, all you do is just turn it inside out, and then it's on the side you need it to be. So 4 side tab folders, 4 center tab folders. Okay. The next thing I'm going to be using, that you'll want if you're making yours exactly like this one, the one that I showed you, will be the digitals from my shop, and that is called Seaside Memories. I will put a list of the ones I used below. Hopefully I have all of them that I'm going to need. Some of them I printed duplicates of. Some of them I use more than one of. So I will put the quantity in the list below, and hopefully I have that all correct. So, okay, papers, folders. Other than that, you're just going to need some odds and ends that you would normally have for a project, such as ink for the edges, paper trimmers, some sari silk or ribbon for the ties, you know, just your odds and ends, standard crafting equipment, and a good glue. Okay, my folders. So when you get file folders, sometimes they are not actually very square, and they're kind of an odd size. So I have gone ahead and I have trimmed all of my folders to be 11.5 inches across. Okay, I pre-trimmed them, so that is done. 11.5 inches is what I've trimmed them to. And what I did is I put this edge into my paper trimmer and trimmed a little bit off of each side to make them be 11.5 inches. And I did that so they would be square. So I squared them to the bottom fold. Okay. All right. 11.5 inches. Okay, so first thing we want to do after trimming our folders to 11.5 inches and making sure they're squared up, okay, is we're going to start folding these. I'm going to use a scoreboard to assist me in my folding. You don't have to have one. If you don't have one, you know, you can just make your marks on your folder and use a straight edge, and then run a stylus or even a mechanical pencil with no lead in it, you know, to score a line by hand. And scoring the lines, what that does is it gives you a really nice crisp edge. It's not necessary, but it really, really helps things out. So let's see. The first one I'm going to fold is this folder here. So I want one with a tab on the right hand side. So let me flip this around. Okay, so my tab is on the right hand side and it's going to go like this. Okay, so set it down, and that makes it hard to fold, so I am going to go ahead and turn it upside down. Now, if you've cut your file folders to 11.5 like I have, then 5 3/4 inches should be your center. Okay, 5 3/4 should be our center. There's my 5, my 5.5. Here's my 5 3/4. That should be my center. Okay, now I want a 1/4 inch spine. So that means I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch on each side of my center. And so that on my scoreboard is just 1 tick on each side. Okay, so 5 3/4 should be my center. And then I'm going to score 1/8 inch on one side and 1/8 inch on the other side. And that gives me a 1/4 inch spine right in the center of my folder. Okay. While I'm doing this, let's talk cameras. So I got a new phone a while back. It's a Samsung S20, and it was supposed to have this great camera, and I am just not impressed with it. And I am in the market for a camera to do videos with. So if any of you watching does YouTube videos, leave in the comments below what camera do you use to do your videos. Are you shooting from your phone? Do you have a regular camera? Are you using a GoPro? What are you using? Let me know, and whether or not you like it, because I'm in the market for something different, because my phone is not cutting it. I'm not crazy about the focusing. Things tend to want to bounce in and out. When I turn on any kind of stabilization, it changes the coloring. It's just weird. It's just weird, and I don't like it. All right, so I did that a couple times just to make sure, because I'm doing double layers here, so I want to make sure I get a good crease all the way through. Okay. So there's the first one that we want to do. Tab on the right, okay, and on the outside of our folder. Okay, that's the first part. Essentially, we're going to make 3 folded folders, and then we're going to glue them together with hinges. You'll see. All right, the next one we want to do is going to be a center tab folder. And we're just going to do the same thing. Find the center, go 1/8 of an inch on each side. So my center is 5 3/4. 5 3/4. Okay. And I'm going 1/8 of an inch on each side. Okay. And I'm going to score that. Actually, I folded that wrong. I want the tab part to be on the inside, so I want it to fold this direction. Okay. Not a big deal, just fold it the other way. Okay, so there's my second one, and it's going to get glued to my first one. All right, and my last one that I'm going to fold, I need a file folder tab on the left, and it's going to be on the outside. So file folder on the left, or tab on the left, and it's going to get folded like this. Okay. Turn it upside down so it's easier for me to fold. 5 3/4 and 1/8 of an inch on each side of that. So 5 3/4 is my center, 1/8 on each side. Gives me a 1/4 inch spine. Don't score the center line, just score the 1/8 inch on each side. Okay, and then that one will get attached back here like so. So now I have 3 file folders, and I'm going to attach them with a hinge. Okay, and so I don't have my hinges yet because I'm going to use scrap pieces of file folder to do that. So we're going to not attach these quite yet. So those are 3 folders for the base. And then now what we want to do is we're going to use one of our file folders to create this part. Okay, so it's a center tab file folder, as you can see, and basically we've kept the top half of the folder, or top part of the folder, and we've cut off the bottom down here. So that's what we're going to do, is create this part. So let's get a center tab folder. Okay, center tab file folder. Let me read my instructions here. It says we are going to trim and fold our small folder to 6 3/4 inches high. Let me check my measurements on that. Okay, yeah, and I did that 6 3/4 inches high from the tab, from the top of the tab. Okay. All right, so going from the top of the tab here, I am going to go 6 3/4 high. Okay, and I'm going to cut this part off, and this part I can use for my hinges and other things. So hang on to all your file folder scraps so that you can use them elsewhere. All right, I'm going to trim this off camera. I'll be right back. So I'm just trimming right there, 6 3/4 from the top of the tab to here, 6 3/4. Okay, so that's the part I want to keep. All right, I want to keep those together. And then this part I'm going to hang on to. 3 3/4 folds each. Let me double check my measurements just to be sure. Yep, 3 3/4 and 3 3/4. Okay, just checking. So I'm going to bring my scoreboard back in. And this may take some adjusting. We're going to go ahead and score it. I'm going 3 3/4 in. 3 3/4. When we fold this, it's going to want to try to bunch up a little bit, and it may look a little wonky, but we will work it out and trim anything if we need to. Okay, that was 3 3/4 on that side. I'm going to turn it around. And I want to do 3 3/4 on this side as well. fold that in, fold that in. Okay, and that's going to make that top part. So we can mess with, later we can mess with kind of trimming this off. See, when you fold it, it wants to overlap here. That's okay. Okay, so there's our front part, and it's going to go with our file folders that we folded already. So we have 3 of them, and we're not going to glue them together yet, and that will go on the front. Okay, so that's basically the base. If you're not going to make one alongside with me, that's the basic base of it, but we're going to do more together later. But if you've got it from there, then take it and run. But anyway, we'll be doing the hinges later, as this is our scrap from what we just cut off, and it's not enough to do both of our hinges yet. So we're just going to wait, but we're going to hang on to this. Okay, so that does that part. All right, so that's where I'm going to quit for today. In the next video, we're going to just keep going. But in the meantime, to get ready for the next video, get your file folders done like this. And then if you want to, you don't have to, but I inked all my edges on my book, and I inked them with just a brown distress ink. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. But I like the inked edges look rather than the plain look. But and you know, you can use any color that you want to. You don't have to use brown. You know, you can use a pretty blue ink or whatever matches, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to be inking my edges brown because I'm making mine just like the one I've already made. I'm looking for my brown ink dauber, but I can't find it in my mess. So, but I am going to go ahead and ink all the edges up on my folders before we come back next time. So I will see you in the next video.